Adam, I want to go straight to the goal, if I may. You took the pass from Trossard, right? And I naively thought it got stuck under your feet, but no, dug it out, bend, great finish.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was nice to get on the score sheet. It don't happen too often nowadays, and to get the 3 points as well, back-to-back wins. It was a good weekend.
Tell us about life under Roberto De Zerbi and what's changed at Brighton. What did he come in and do, and how are you enjoying it?
It was a difficult start, obviously, for him inheriting a group that was doing so well in the Premier League. Took a little bit of time just for lads, I think, to feel comfortable because it was change, and we don't always like change. But we've had a few weeks now, and I think you're really starting to see that the work that he's been doing with us, the way he wants to play, and a couple of massive results in the Premier League. We've got our confidence back now, I think, that we had at the beginning of the season.
Adam, what's the difference in how he's setting you up? It looks to me like you're playing more progressive. I think there's always been a criticism of Brighton, you don't score enough goals. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you haven't got as many points since he's been in as what you deserve.
Yeah, he's very, very tactical on the training pitch. So there's lots of phases of play in deep build-up, mid build-up and in the attacking third. It's very structured. You've got to be disciplined in where he kind of wants you, and he gives you all the options. It's nothing that I've experienced before in my career in how he coaches. He's very, very hands-on.
Must be brilliant for you to learn, if you've got any aspirations of going in and being a coach. When I look at you, I think you're cut out for that job. Is he someone you're learning off and maybe you're ready to go?
Yeah, well, before he came in, I thought I'd had a great experience under the managers I've worked with, and then he enters the building and I'm blown away by his ideas and how he sees the game, and it's just another string to my bow, and in terms of experience and just keep learning. It's incredible to still be at 34 and still think you kind of know nothing in the game.
It's an interesting one, Adam, because normally in normal situations where managers change jobs, the manager leaving is because the results, 9 times out of 10, the results haven't been good. So your manager comes in to a club that is actually doing very, very well. Now, you can argue the risk on him is greater than most, because if he changes it and things don't go well, then he creates a massive problem on himself. He's got to get the balance right of what has gone before, which was excellent, but bring his own methods in. And from what you're saying there, that's exactly what he's doing, mate.
And it was tough. It was a tough first 3-4 weeks. We didn't win in the first 5 as well. And I could just see it in his face. It was like, it wasn't his choice to be here. It wasn't his choice that kind of Graeme left, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It just gets back to what you were saying there about it's not often that managers come in off the back of someone leaving to go on to bigger and better things. So it did take a bit of time, probably, to get buy-in from every player, because there were players that were used to doing things a bit differently under Graeme, and we were getting huge success doing it as well that way. So there was a little bit of a transition period, and we suffered with not winning in 5 or 6 games, and that can't have been easy for Roberto, coming to a new league, new language, and not getting a win in 5 games. So I was extremely made up for him that we got back-to-back wins, because it took a little bit of pressure off.
Adam, I know what the fans think. I just wondered what the players think about getting a bit of extra motivation to finish above Chelsea this season.
No,
not even a little bit.
No, nothing in that. Come on. No? I'm desperate for Graeme to do well and succeed, and I'm sure, I'm positive he will. Having worked with him, everyone needs a bit of time to get their ideas across. Yeah. But obviously, there's more pressure at the bigger club you're at.
Nice answer. a very moderated answer. I enjoyed that one.
You're very naughty.
Well, no, I'm just asking the questions, What about the expectations of where you want to finish? So when you guys sit down and have a conversation with Roberto and the football that you're playing and how it's clicking, where do you think you can finish? What's the aim?
I think the beauty of playing for Brighton is the expectation is probably a bit less than being at a so-called top 4 club, even though there's probably 6 or 7 top 4 clubs. So we can just go at our business quietly, and that helps us, I think, in take the pressure off, and we can be underdogs most weeks in our minds, and that helps us. But I've been in some dressing rooms, some successful dressing rooms with top quality players, and we've got some very, very good players, and we play some very, very good football. I'm not naive in the fact that we can achieve something good this season, and what that is, I don't know. I'll let you guys kind of speculate on that.
And what else can you tell us about the way that Roberto De Zerbi is, just as a person? Because when new managers come in and we don't know a lot about them, obviously we wait to hear them in press conferences and we hear what you guys think. But as a bloke, what's he like?
Great bloke, completely football mad. Was very passionate, very, very passionate. A lot of warmth, a lot of charisma. And he's just got the lads wanting to play from him. As I said, it took a little bit of time, but I think we all believe now in his ideas, and we want to follow him. So he's our leader now, and we want to follow him.
Do you get a little bit frustrated, Adam? Because I've seen a lot of questions put to Brighton about lack of goals, but do you think that's a bit of a myth?
Not so much. I don't get frustrated with the lack of goals. It's more the fact that when I hear people harping on that we need a striker. Because I just think the way football's developing nowadays, Man City won the league last year without a striker, so it can work, and we've got a couple of very good strikers there. I said we've got Danny Welbeck. Okay, he's not scored this year, but in my opinion, so what? He's playing very well when he plays and contributing in other ways, and I think we get in areas where. With Pascal Gross playing right back the last 2 weekends, and he scored 2 goals because the way we play, how fluid we play, it allows him to arrive in the box. And I just think football's always evolving. I just think it's lazy journalism or lazy opinion to kind of say, "Oh, they need a striker," because we're Brighton Football Club. I don't think we're in the market for 40-50 million pound strikers. So it's difficult to go and recruit them.
Adam, I was going to ask you, mate, when you turned Chelsea over last week, brilliant performance, brilliant result. Obviously, Graham Potter got a little bit of stick, as did Cucurella. Did that surprise you a little bit, or is that just football fans? We had a great discussion about it.
I think it didn't surprise me. It must have been very difficult for them, and I had a lot of sympathy for them, because it's still so raw for all the Brighton fans and people associated with Brighton, and it was a bit pantomimey, but for them it wouldn't have felt like that. It would have hurt a lot, because they still care about Brighton, all of them do. So it probably wasn't avoidable. It was maybe just something they were going to have to have gone through, and I think the more times they come back, I think the easier it will be and the better the reception will be, but it can't have been easy for them.
Adam, 9 years ago today you were called up to the England squad, and you just mentioned some of the players in your team as well. Danny Welbeck, maybe Lewis Dunk. Are they getting excited? Are they getting nervous? Are they kind of thinking, could I be involved?
Potentially. They're very calm lads, so they'll just be taking each game as it comes, and the decisions are ultimately out of their control. So, listen, they'll be excited. Of course they will. But we've got 2 more games before, or 1 more game before I think Gareth names his squad, and that's Wednesday night in the cup against Arsenal. So they'll go into that just trying to perform.
What was it like when you got called up?
It's an incredible moment. I remember Maurizio Pochettino bringing me to the office and telling me, and along with Ricky Lambert and maybe Luke Shaw at the time, maybe one other. Incredible. It's a pinnacle playing for your country, in my opinion.
One more question before we let you go. Obviously, 6 years that you spent at Liverpool as well. Liverpool are starting, or they look like they're now starting to turn a corner again, aren't they? Having a little bit of a torrid time at the beginning part of the season. Would you back Jurgen Klopp and that team to finish top 4?
Yes, I think yes. Like I said earlier, though, 7 doesn't go into 4, does it? Or 8. If you're saying that we're in the race for top 4 as well. I'm only joking.
No, it's a valid point.
Quite right, mate. Quite right.
I'm only messing. Don't quote me on that.
That's our headline.
You know what we're like.
With that manager you got, you picked him up. He's going to Chelsea next month.
Yeah, stop it. No, go on.
No, it's going to be challenging now for Liverpool to finish in the top 4, but they could still win the Champions League. They've qualified through the group. They still win the Champions League. That's the group that they've got there. And the Premier League's the best league in the world for a reason. It's because you've got 7, 8 clubs that are challenging for the top 4, which means 4 teams are going to be disappointed or are going to have underachieved apparently. So it's hard to say whether they'll be in the top 4 or not. Liverpool, it's going to be a challenge. I know that.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.